Welcome to another edition of Big Ideas, the segment where we have a lot of fans submit ideas for a chance to win $10,000 and one of those crazy, awesome, eco-friendly Race to a Million t-shirts. Before we take a look at a couple ideas from this week's fans, let's first ask a quick question to get your brain really thinking. The question is, in its first year of business, how much money did Microsoft make? Was it A, $600,000, B, $60,000, or C, $16,000? We'll give the answer after we check out a couple of big ideas from some of the Race to a Million fans. Our first idea is a smoking hot idea that actually had us talking a lot in this office, and it really resonated with us with several people here. The idea comes from Jennifer Kitt from Salmon Arms. So she provides her friends with an ashtray, but she finds that as people are tapping ashes and that type of thing, they let the ashtray over on one side of the patio or the other side of the patio, and quite often they flick their ashes directly on the patio itself. So Jennifer thinks it would be a great idea if there was an ashtray that actually clips onto the railing or the banister so that they don't have to be reaching over here or reaching over there to a table or a surface that's big enough to hold the ashtray. It can just clip right onto the patio railing itself. Great idea, Jennifer. Your t-shirt's on the way. Here's our second submission. So this next idea comes from Jonathan Anthony in Courtenay, BC. Jonathan's idea is to go back to the days of the old classic arcade and start a gaming cafe or a kiosk in a mall. His idea is to actually have a modern day multiplayer arcade built to look like the old-fashioned arcade systems, but with new PC gear inside, so that when people play the games, they can choose the one that they want. They just don't have to go from machine to machine to machine. So Jonathan writes, like an internet cafe, you could charge for the time on the system and supplement your income with snacks, beverages, and retro gaming merchandise. Great idea, Jonathan. I think I might frequent such a place. Now back to that question. How much money did Microsoft make in their first year of business? The answer is $16,005. So what's our takeaway? Getting into business, it's a tough go. It doesn't always work out the way that we originally envisioned it. I'm sure with Microsoft, they expected to make maybe a little bit more than $16,000 in their first year. I'm sure by watching some of the teams, some of you may have thought that some of the teams themselves should be further along than $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. It's not what happens at the beginning. It's what happens overall that counts. The important takeaway in business is that you continue to keep going. You can't measure success just by the first year alone. I think Microsoft has definitely proved that. So don't be discouraged. It takes a lot of raw guts and determination and drive to make a business succeed. It's normal for a business to take several years before you start to see some significant success. It's okay. $16,000 for the first year of business for Microsoft, it may not seem like a lot, but they certainly went on to create a huge success, and you can too. So it starts with a good idea. And don't forget, you could win approximately 2/3 of what Microsoft made in their first year by submitting your ideas to racetoamillion.ca.